Where? Where? Eh? Have you heard? My friend, have you heard or seen what other earthlings out there are saying about God? Which God? Yeah, the God Almighty. Where? People have different perspectives. Let's dive in. Take a look at the videos you have today, my friend, and be sure you hit the like button. Things are hot. Start.
So, when they recruit people for the Freemasons, they make sure that everybody believes in a god, but then the more you go through, they introduce you to a concept of a supreme being. Their supreme being is Satan. It's Satanism. That's what they are, from the bottom to the top. But what they don't tell them, excuse me, is that the supreme being of Satan, there's a higher powers than Satan. I'm not sure if you've noticed that or not, but there absolutely is. So basically, it's a trick, lies, and shenanigans cult that preys on people's lower selves and lower energies, offering people freedom and money for doing terrible acts against others. Stay far away from these people, and the lower guys will probably try to fight with me in the comments. Go ahead, you're really fighting with yourself and your own lies and programming that you've been sold by the higher members of your group. Don't get mad at me, get mad at yourself for being tricked by people you knew were liars in the first place.
To become a member, you must know somebody who is a member, because it helps. Because the person will have to vouch for you in terms of character. Okay? This is a very old institution. It has stood the test of time. And the only reason is because systems make sure that people who get in are, in quotes, properly screwed on, for the lack of whatever. Yeah? So, yes, we are selective in who we take, because we just want to make sure that the image of the institution is upheld at all times, no matter what happens.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you leave? Once you join, can you leave? Can you decide to leave?
There is nothing that prevents you from leaving Freemasonry. There are several examples of people who have left Freemasonry.
If you're running Windows 10, this is important. This is for you. Windows 10 reaches end of support on October 14th, 2020.
Well, my friend, strange times we are living in. Please leave your perspectives down below. This story have just reminded me something. It is an interesting journey we have on today's videos, because the videos that are coming up are even more mind-blowing. And for us to face them fully with the good vibes, we must have strength in our souls, my friend. And I have something for you, something straight out of a book that has survived for quite some time on this world. A good vibes book here of knowledge, the Constitution of Life. Always has interesting stuff. Hear what it says today. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the likeness of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers. That, my friends, is from Romans 8:28 going down. Interesting stuff. Whoa. But that's not what I had intended to share with you, to be honest. So let me read the verse that I had intended here, the passage. You see, I had circled another place and it had confused me. This is what I intended to share with you. Those who live according to the sinful nature have their minds set on what the nature desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind of sinful man is death, but the mind but the mind controlled by the Spirit is life and peace. Romans 8:5 going down. Interesting. Good vibe. So here we focus on bearing the good fruits of honesty, love, and others you can check out in this episode that will be suggested at the end of this video. And to proceed, my friend, from this point, let's talk with our maker, the one that helps us bear these good fruits in life. You see, dear Lord Father, maker of heaven and earth, we come before you today in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Thank you for our souls, Father. Thank you for your wonderful child today, your Father. Thank you for their lives. Dear Lord, as we react to the videos that we have today together with this viewer, may we be guided, Father, by your Spirit. May they see your goodness in their lives, Father. Uplift their souls, Father. Give them strength, dear Lord, and lead them in your paths, Father. Forgive them all their sins, dear Lord, and do good things for them in their lives. Help them get a different perspectives of this video, Father, and help us in spreading love. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's continue watching the videos, my friends.
If you're running Windows 10, this is important. This is for you. Windows 10 reaches end of support on October 14th, 2025. That means Windows 10 has been out for like 10 years. But it also means that on that date, Windows 10 will no longer get patches and bug fixes, and most importantly, security updates. So that device might be more vulnerable to viruses, malware, phishing, all sorts of nasty stuff. So you have two options. You can check if that device meets the hardware requirements for Windows 11, and if it does, you can just upgrade for free. Just go to the Windows Update area in Settings. If not, there's no reason to wait. There are a ton of great Windows 11 devices out there across, a range of form factors from different manufacturers, and most importantly, different price points, so you can find one that works for you. So again, if you're on Windows 10, the countdown has begun.
What in the world is going on? Windows 10 is being retired?
Microsoft is pulling the plug on it and ceasing to support it, which means that it will be unsafe to use after October this year. Windows 11 has particular hardware requirements that a computer needs to have in order to install Windows 11. The problem is a whole bunch of computers that are currently on Windows 10 don't have those components, so they can't upgrade to the new operating system. Globally, this is in the order of 400 million computers running Windows 10 that are going to need to form a plan to get off of it. So it's a huge issue.
What can people do?
Upgrade to Windows 11 if they are able to. Outside of that, you might want to be looking at a different operating system altogether.
What do we want to see?
We want to see the October 2025 date pushed out because we don't think it's reasonable. This policy is going to be sending a whole bunch of computers to landfill, which is totally unnecessary, polluting, and requiring a whole bunch of new computers to be built, which creates a whole bunch of emissions. More or less, people are going to have to upgrade to a different operating system or buy a brand new computer. Obviously really wasteful because a lot of the time those computers are working perfectly fine.
What they wanted versus what we gave them. So there was someone looking for an engagement ring for his girlfriend. He had $4,000 saved up, so he wanted to get something amazing for her. And he went engagement ring shopping with his girlfriend. He ended up finding something that she absolutely loved, and this was that engagement ring. The only problem was it was $6,000 at the store, so $2,000 more than what he had. Which was kind of a shame because he wanted to propose now. But he saw one of our TikToks saying that if you take a picture of an engagement ring and send it to my mom, she'll be able to custom build any engagement ring on the planet for its fair price, probably saving you thousands. So he took this picture of the engagement ring, sent it to my mom. He also sent along this information of the ring. My mom said we could build that exact same engagement ring for $2,900. We'd be saving him $3,000. He could buy it now, and he'd have $1,000 left over from what he already saved. So of course he liked this, and he paid $50 to move to the next step where we create 3D designs for him to approve before we ever build the ring, just so we're on the same page. After some back and forth working on the designs, these are the 3D designs that he ended up approving, saying these are perfect. Because they were perfect, he paid $150 to go to the next step where we start building the ring. We don't have our customers pay the entire price of the ring until after they see it 100% done, just so it's less stressful of a process. 2 to 6 weeks later, his ring was done. We actually took these photos and videos today. This is how it turned out. It turned out absolutely beautiful. Just to compare, this is what he wanted for $6,000. This is what we built for $2,900.
Listen. So I have a question, and I'm going to ask it after I tell this story. Don't think I'm crazy. I just want to know. So I work at this office, right? I have been working there, let's say a couple of years. There's this male coworker that I have, who I have been giving a ride to for 2 years. For 2 years, I've been giving him a ride home. I have never asked him for gas money. I have never asked him to pitch in. I have never asked him to drive. I have never asked this man for anything. He has also never offered anything, right? But for 2 years, I've been giving him a ride home after work. Now, it's about 5 miles out of my way, but it's all right, okay? It's all right. So I've been giving him free rides. Now, today, we're at work per usual. I go to the vending machine to get me a soda. I realize I left my wallet in the car. Silly me. Now, I would usually just go to the car and get my wallet, right? But recently, the elevators have been a hassle at work. So if I try to go back to the car, it might take me like 20 minutes to get to the car and get back just to get this one little soda. 20 minutes for one soda? That's unproductive. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask that coworker for $1. All I need is $1, right? So I go to the coworker and I'm like, hey, man, I was trying to get a soda out the vending machine. I left my wallet in the car. Could I borrow $1? Could you lend me $1? Lend me $1. That man looked me in my eyes. He looked me in my eyes. That man told me, sorry, man, I don't lend money to coworkers or friends. Just use your own money, man. I have been giving this man a ride home for 2 years after work for free. He has never gave me any gas money. I have probably spent $1,500 on gas alone just transporting him. And he don't want to lend me $1? Lend me $1. You pay for it yourself, man. Cool. I go to my car. I get my wallet. I get my soda. But now the work day is over and it's time to clock out. It's time to go home. So I clock out. Bing. He come up to me. Hey, man, you ready to go? Hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah. Yes, I'm ready to go. But you not coming. Yeah, I'm not giving you a ride home. No more free rides. If you want to ride from me, you're going to have to put in, homie. He said, what? Man, I know this not about that $1 from earlier. Come on, man. Stop being petty. Petty? Me? Petty. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. Just can't call me broke. Yeah. Because I'm getting off time. But I got a car. You don't. So call me what you want. But I won't be walking. So, he called me petty. I leave without him. He don't put nothing in. I leave without him. I go home. I make it home in record time, by the way. But he called me petty. So I just want to know, am I petty?
Why are they pouring powder into a mold? Because under extreme pressure, that powder transforms into solid metal in seconds. But it's not strong enough yet. Next, it goes into a furnace that's hot enough to bond the particles without melting them. This process is called sintering, and it's how tiny gears and precision parts are made faster, stronger, and more efficiently compared to traditional metalworking techniques.
Can someone explain this to me? I just went into a bank to pay something, and an actual bank, a very well-known bank. I went in there to pay something. I walked up to the counter and I said, I'm here to pay. And they said, great, with a check? And I said, no, cash. And they said, we don't accept cash. I said, you're a bank. You're a bank. How does a bank not accept cash as payment? Did I miss a day? What happened? Do banks not have cash? Like, what's going on? I don't know what's going on, but I would like to pay in cash, but apparently you can't at banks. All right. Well, I hope you have a good day. I'm going to go figure this out.
You see, you and me, we both got 5 blocks, which is equal to the number of fingers you have on one hand. But blocks are really hard to hold in our flesh bag. So we give those blocks to the bank, and now the bank has 10 blocks. And one day the government said to the bank, you don't need to have all 10 blocks. You only need to have as many as you think people might ask for. So for every 10 blocks that you have, you only need to keep 2. So those 2 blocks, they're safe. The bank can't do anything with them. But Tim over here, he's only got 1 block. He doesn't have 5 like you and me. Tim's a poor motherfucker. But Tim can take out a loan and get 5 blocks by borrowing 4 from the bank. So now 3 people, you, me, and Tim, all have 5 blocks, okay? Now, I don't know if you noticed, but that's 15 blocks. That's 3 people with 5 blocks each, even though we only started with 10 blocks, 5 each. Now, cars are pretty important, but they cost 3 blocks each. And, before, Tim only had 1 block, so he couldn't afford a car, okay? There was only 2 of us that could buy a car. So factories are only producing cars for 2 people. But wait! If there are only 3 cars available, 1 for you, 1 for me, and 1 for Tim, and they cost 3 blocks each, what do you think happens when the bank takes these extra 4 blocks and lends them to Karen, who also only previously had 1 block, but now she's got these 4, and now Karen has 5 blocks. But Karen, who couldn't afford a car before, now wants another car, but there's only 3 to go around. So now these cars that used to only cost 3 blocks, the demand has gone up, so they now cost 4 blocks, okay? Even though they only used to cost 3 blocks, because too many people want these cars. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but there's now 20 blocks, 5, 10, 15, and 20. And the bank still got 2, so there's 22 blocks, even though we only started with 10. So the bank has used your money and my money to make our money worth less. Because by creating money out of thin air, by creating loans, our money can't buy things like it used to, because cars only used to cost 3 blocks, but now more people can afford a 3-block car, so the car companies are like, hey, what if we charge 4 blocks? What if we charge 5 blocks? You see where I'm going with this?
There was a shipping container that recently showed up on the shore in Jamaica. I have family in Jamaica. And for everybody else who has family in Jamaica, or anyone out there vacationing, I do not recommend anyone eat that meat. Nothing is free. So if you've seen the video go viral recently in the last 24 hours and you know someone, please encourage them, do not eat that meat out of the shipping container. We have had many stories over the last few years related to shipping containers. And for whatever reason, this one not only showed up, but was easy to open. That is a red flag.
Fresh drop. Fresh drop.
I move. It's moving with me. It's all moving.
Okay, now this is the meat right here that washed up ashore. As you can see, the brand is called Perdix, and it is manufactured out of Brazil. There go your inspection stamp right there from Brazil, showing you that I guess it's supposedly already been inspected or whatever. It was headed to the Cayman Islands, but the container fell off the ship or whatever and magically floated to Jamaica. I'm just talking about this again is because I still find something weird and something suspicious about this, and they warning the people to not consume this meat, but people are still consuming it and looting and taking some home, and people have reported that they don't feel sick or anything, so hopefully it's not contaminated and everybody be fine and this doesn't turn into the next zombie apocalypse and people just start running around ripping each other's face off, because that's the last thing we need right now in 2020. People from Jamaica commenting on my last video where I talked about it, but on this video, I want to hear in the comments of anyone who has consumed this meat. If you've cooked it at your own house, maybe went somewhere and purchased some, like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling fine? Did it smell funny? Did it taste funny? Like, somebody let me know in the comments, and I hope all is well over there in Jamaica. Y'all stay safe, stay prayed up. Love y'all. Peace!
Are you a dream weaver? Now, a dream weaver is someone who has a deep connection with their dreams and possesses a vivid dream life. But there is more to it. So number one, you have vivid, intense dream recall, which means that you're able to recall dreams that you've had in absolute detail. Right from the emotions that you feel in the dreams to the colours, the sights, the smells, the sounds. Number two, you have an active dream life. So you are a very regular dreamer of lucid dreams, very intense dreams that often have symbolic reasoning behind them. You're able to really tap into that, and you're able to pick up what's gone on in a dream and relate it to what's happening in your life. Number three, you're a lucid dreamer. And what that means is you're able to pick up that you're in a dream state while you're in a dream, and you have the ability to sometimes be able to shape and shift that dream. Number four, you have a creative imagination in your day-to-day life. Number five, you're deeply introspective. So you're able to really self-reflect, and you often see your dreams as a window into your subconscious mind.
Have you been lucid dreaming since you were a child? Can you see entire movie scenes playing out in your brain when you're just sitting there doing nothing? Do your dreams play out like insane scenarios over and over and over again? And sometimes you have control and sometimes you don't. Can you wake up and go back to sleep and start the dream over again? Can you rewind the dream to do something differently? Can you stay in dreams for days on end, seemingly? Man, I met someone once that had like an entire life in their dreams. That was crazy.